Alrighty, what's going on? We are in round two of
All right,
tonight's show.
welcome to another episode of
Okay, was that my end?
You good?
Okay, we're getting a little choppy. Um,
You, bro. Where are you? There you go. All right.
okay, are we still a little choppy?
Listen.
Okay, are we still a little choppy?
No. We're good.
Yeah, I'm still hearing choppiness.
Yeah. The software.
Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Okay, is is it still choppy, you guys? Cause like on my end, it sounds choppy. Now it's choppy. Oh man. Okay, so it is still choppy. This is not cool. What's up? Yeah, it's very choppy. Okay, Abdul Terrell says I'm not choppy, just blitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Say something,
Yep.
Lions
I'm
personnel.
all good. I'm ready.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so it is on Derek's end. That is crazy. Oh, I appreciate that, Abdul Terrell. Oh man, this is crazy. Yeah, I do not know what is going on. Um, I know the Gridiron Blitz is hardwired in. Um, See, and this is another reason why I'm trying to upgrade my system. But I appreciate that, Go Lions. Well, I guess we will try to start. We will hopefully have his. Okay, Gridiron Blitz says keep it moving. Okay. Um. Well, that's not a good thing, but we will try to make the show work. Uh, so I want to ask you: have you heard about the Andrew Luck situation?
Yes, I have, and I am very one-sided on it, definitely.
Okay, explain.
Okay, I look at everything from a player's perspective. I look at it from fans as well, but definitely player's perspective. He is a guy that has had major injuries for almost every single season, and the minor ones that he has last weeks. So a guy like that, and yeah, he's a generational talent, but it doesn't matter if he's getting injured that much. And if he loses love for a game, he's completely within his right to leave. And yes, I get the fans are angry, but you do not boo a franchise quarterback who has pretty much been the only reason for your guys' success for the longest time, except for last year. So I think that the Colts fans are definitely in the wrong here, and Andrew Luck can do what he wants when he wants.
Yeah. I kind of have that same mindset, but I did drop a video earlier today on who's to blame for Andrew Luck. Definitely go check that out. Um, you know, for one, the
Yeah.
fans are so in the wrong by booing him. You do not boo a generational talent. That is one thing that Andrew Luck could have been a first ballot Hall of Famer when his career was said and done. But due to poor management, specifically due to Ryan Grigson, he totally killed him. He single handedly killed him.
Yeah,
In a
exactly.
sense of like he didn't put an offensive line. He didn't draft a single offensive line outside of 3 times in the top 6 picks.
Yeah.
And then when it
And-
was all said, then when it was too late, oh, then he wanted to decide to go add one more in the top, in the first round. You know,
yeah,
and
exactly.
that ultimately got him fired, and thankfully so. I mean, how more worse can Andrew Luck have been if Ryan Grigson would have still been the GM for the Indianapolis Colts?
Yeah, I don't want to think about that
I know,
at
right?
all. Yeah. Well,
Like,
think about another point to this. People, and yeah, it's going to be rumors for the next probably decade. I've seen a couple posts about it. But if he did come back, who do you think he'd play for? Because I have no doubt in my mind that he'd come back and play for the Colts if he ever comes back to football.
I think he would because even right now, like they're pretty much primed for a Super Bowl run. Outside of maybe a few key pieces, you know, they can pretty much compete in the AFC. For sure they can win their division. That at least gets them into the second round with a bye week. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
so they'd be only technically 3 games on being a world champ. You know,
Well, and that's the
so it's
thing is
like,
like that's the thing is I don't think it was it. I know for a fact it wasn't him being discouraged on losing because their team was only looking up. It was solely a decision on him. It'd be different, and I would have a different viewpoint if his team was trash. Almost like Lions fans are gonna hate me for saying this, but I understood why Calvin Johnson retired.
oh,
Because
absolutely.
yeah, he saw no future with the Lions winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 years with him playing. So having him retire, that's different because he really did retire because he was getting the beating Andrew Luck was, but he wasn't winning at all, and that destroys you all
Oh yeah,
immensely.
it destroys you. Yeah, it destroys you mentally, and then with the physical aspect of it because football is so physical, you know, now you're really contemplating like, do I really want this?
Yeah, yeah, because like I don't know, I get it. Yeah, no crap. It was a shock to everybody, but I understood it, and if I was a Colts fan, if I was a diehard Colts fan, I almost would have seen the writing on the wall. Maybe a couple more seasons, but he definitely wasn't going to be a player that was going to play as long as Tom Brady was because of how injury prone, and because of how bad of an offensive line was put in front of him. Also, like I don't know how you expect a quarterback to take that kind of beating and still win games, which he did,
Right.
and want to keep playing.
Yep. In the first 3 years for Andrew Luck, he's been sacked 100 times. And he's been sacked 140 or 176, I believe, total in his entire career. And 100 of them were in the first 3 years. So that tells you right there, like that's a huge red flag. Like I don't understand where Greg or Ryan Grigson even had a mindset at. Like, like just imagine if Andrew Luck had Chris Ballard and Frank Wright throughout his entire career.
He'd be fine and still playing.
Absolutely, absolutely. The
Yeah.
very first move that Chris Ballard did was go get an offensive line. He was like, "No, we have to address this."
Yeah, and I see it as I think the only way that GM thought that this is the only sensible way, which it's still not a sensible way whatsoever, is he's a big guy, he can take hits and he'll be fine, which he wasn't because no one can take hits like that and be just fine. I think he ruined Andrew Luck's career, and it's also I think injuries were a huge part of the game, but I don't think if Andrew Luck was completely healthy that he wouldn't step away. That's something that you can debate as long as you want, but it's just sad to see a guy that good retire so early. Same thing that
Oh,
happened with Calvin
absolutely.
Johnson, same thing that happened with Barry Sanders.
Exactly. And it's sad because when you lose generational talents on your team, it does kind of give your team like a black eye. Um, it I wouldn't say like it tarnishes your franchise, but it's not a good look. In
Right.
a sense of like, you pretty much got a generational talent almost killed. I mean, you pretty much could say he was killed out there. With no
No,
pass protection and things like that.
but you can look at it from Matthew Stafford's viewpoint too, because like I was thinking about this. How would I feel if Matthew Stafford suddenly retired right now? Yeah, I'd be mad a little bit as a fan because he retired early, but I would completely understand why he retired because he hasn't had good offensive linemen in front of him at all either. So I would not be a fan booing him off the field because he
Oh,
retired.
absolutely.
It's not like he
Right.
retired mid-season or during a playoff run. And people are making it a big deal that he retired a couple weeks early. That's just when the news finally broke. He had told the GM and the head coach a month before that, and he had said, I think it was for a year, that he was mulling retirement because of the injuries already. So when he
Yeah.
finally made his decision, it's just finally it popped out. But he had already made his decision.
Yeah. And I'm glad you kind of brought it back to Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's been sacked 329 times. So
That is a terrible number.
man, it's like, and that's why I can never boo Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford has done everything humanly possible. It's just former general managers didn't do what, say, even Bob Quinn even did half of. That's
Yeah.
why I give so much praise to Bob Quinn and Matthew Stafford and the guys that they have now. It's because the moves that they did. It's like night and day difference from years past. That's why that whole SOL same old lion stuff. I dismiss that so quickly. And I'm glad that we have a competent GM. Because maybe now Matthew Stafford doesn't get injured as much. I mean, everybody's going to get some sort of banged up. Maybe it's a bruise or something like that. Something obviously you could play with. Uh,
But a broken
because,
back.
yeah, right. We don't need to
Yeah.
see any more of them. We don't need to see any more broken fingers on your throwing hand. We don't need to see, separated shoulders and different things like that. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's something that's unacceptable as a GM to let your quarterback go through any sort of pain like that because he is the most important player on the field for any team. And people don't believe that. They really don't know football.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and, I try to give everybody a benefit of the doubt unless you like totally go crazy and be like, okay, you know what, it's time for you to go. Like Theo Riddick, you know, yeah, he was good for whatever we had to use him in, but is he part of like future plans? No. So okay, I want to see him go, but I do want to still see him, succeed in the NFL. I don't have no ill feelings towards him. I just, for the sake of the Detroit Lions, I wish that we needed to move on.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
Okay, on Matthew Stafford, since we're talking about him now, we can kind of roll into the next topic, which is talking about the preseason games, and him finally getting his first action this last week. What are your thoughts on how he played and how the offense played as a whole?
Okay, so I do want to put another disclaimer out there. I did miss this week as well. I was at work. So I did
Wow.
miss. Yeah, I did miss the game. I had to work. And shout out to the Gridiron Blitz for you know, sending me out the client. I appreciate that. But so I had to watch like highlights. So from
Yeah.
highlights
Okay.
aspect, I seen that
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford did do very very well. I mean, he did kind of look a little rusty, but obviously your first real game action, you're gonna look a little rusty, you know. But I'm glad that you know, he did perform pretty well. So he was moving the ball pretty nicely. I mean, some of the chemistry needs to work out here and there. I don't want to see no out. I mean, absolutely. If you're making the squad, I do not want you to play this week.
Yeah.
You're done. You're getting shipped out to Arizona in bubble wrap and get our rooms ready because when we get there,
Exactly.
then we'll get back to football. you know,
Yeah.
because
Well,
I mean,
no, you're good.
what was
Go
that?
ahead.
Oh, so I mean, because Frank Ragnow, he did get injured. Granted, it's not a serious injury, but it's still an injury. He still now has to play the entire season with a sprained ankle at some point. Jared Davis, same thing, another sprained ankle. You know, them are two key pieces that yeah, you don't want to see them out there, but I understand why they were. Because you do want to get that real life game action because in practice you can't simulate that in any way, shape, or form. I mean, you could kind of, but it's not going to be nowhere near what live game time will bring. Um,
Yeah.
and defensively though, I seen a lot of good things. First quarter, I believe it was. I seen like really nice things out that run stopping game. Like I didn't see a lot of movement from opposing running backs. And that's awesome because I heard that Trey Flowers wasn't even playing. So imagine if he's there with Mike Daniels and also Deshaun Hand didn't play as well. So imagine if like all these guys are playing. Like there's going to
Yeah.
be a whole lot of times where the Lions are going to, have a tackle for a loss or possibly even a sack. Um, and once again, if you can do that, it's going to make the opposing player think twice, and maybe that second guess causes a fumble or causes an interception or causes some sort of turnover, and that's something that you want. And I said as soon as we signed Matt Patricia, I said the Lions are going to go after to try to be a top scoring defense within a top 10 overall defense and a balanced offense. And lo and behold, what are we trying to do right now?
Exactly. Well, okay, to my perspective, I did get to watch the game. Maybe not live because I was in fall camp, so I actually had to practice. But I did catch the game later that night, and I think Stafford and the offense played well. I think they played better than I was expecting, to be honest with you. I feel like we could have gotten some more rushing yards, but our passing attack, especially play action with the tight ends, was something I haven't seen at all. Like nothing that good. What being a Lions fan, was much better than even Eric Ebron. And I'm not saying he was a highly rated guy or someone that was going to go out there and give you 1,000-yard season, but he was the best we had receiving wise for a tight end for a while. So it was very encouraging to see that what's it called? TJ Hawkinson actually had some really good catches over the middle of the field. He did have that one drop. Stafford rolled out. It was, I want to say it was 2nd and goal or something like that. He was about to get sacked and threw his sidearm, but he was almost surprised to get the ball because I don't think they don't have a full chemistry set yet, because when Matthew Stafford threw that ball, he looked very surprised that he got it out, which he's going to get used to Matthew Stafford throwing those sidearms and crazy throws because that's what he does. And to Matthew Stafford's viewpoint, I actually think he played better this preseason game than he did last year. I think he was very shaky last year in the preseason game and made me kind of nervous, but I pushed it aside as, doesn't matter, he's a veteran, he'll be fine, which he ended up having not a very good season. It was a down year for him. But this game, he looked sharp. Like the New Age was saying, some of his passes did lack zip, but his timing and when to throw the ball and who to throw it to, his mental game was on point, and he did have some really good footballs in there. So that was something I was really excited to see because I haven't seen that Stafford since 2017. So that was fun. And then on the defensive side, yeah, like you were saying, I think they were doing really good stopping the run. Not the best with passing defense, but that'll take time. They got new guys in the back with Coleman and Melvin, so they need to build some chemistry up. But Diggs was playing well. Tracy Walker was playing really good. And Slay, of course, had his plays. So it was just a good showing all in all. Just sucks about the injuries, but I think they'll be back within the first couple weeks of the season. So we should be all good there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ramon did say like maybe it could be his back that that lacked that little bit of zip that he normally has. That could be a possibility. I mean, this is technically his first game back from that back injury. So it might have played a little factor. But as time goes on and as we actually really showcase our real offensive playbook, I think he'll work through all that, and you'll see that same zip that we know and love.
Yeah, and then also, I think that they didn't put anything out there as an offensive standpoint, on an offensive scheme standpoint. I think they were very vanilla. Maybe they had a couple plays in there. One of the big plays of TJ Hawkinson felt like it had a little flurry to it, but that was just a base offense. And with that being a base offense and how well they started getting in the rhythm, I think that's amazing. And yeah, with the back, I think it is still hurting him a little bit. I think that's also why he's been sitting out of practices. Yes, he's a veteran and he's done that before, but he sat out. I think they said it was like 6 days in a row he didn't throw a single pass, which, that's fine with me. It's preseason. He can sit out and do nothing as much as he wants because he's not going to forget how to throw a football. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Stafford will still be Stafford. It's just like I always say, it's the very first live game action for him. Of the 2019 season. So, bear with it. The offensive playbook is vanilla. It's gonna be like that. It's just more or less, okay, if they're in this situation, how are they gonna react? If they react the way that they're supposed to, they got a good chance of making the team. If they don't, well, put together some sort of tape so you can land on somebody else's team or practice squad.
Yep.
And that's the mentality that we got to stick to, because it's like we can't give no more free passes. Like, if you want to be here, you're gonna be here. If you don't want to be here, pack your bags up. Tell them, hey, look, I don't want to be here no more. We'll figure something out compensation wise or whatever, and there's the door. And that's the one thing that, I hate to always say about it because it's the quote unquote Patriots, but that's what the Patriots do. If you want to be here, you're going to be here. If you don't, then there's the door. How many guys have they, shown the door to? I mean, Danny Amendola was one guy. He wanted to be there, but he wanted to get paid, and, he was trying to ask for a little bit more than what his production was allowing. And, so then he landed with the Miami Dolphins.
Well, and
Wes Walker.
another one. And, yeah, Wes Welker. And then also look at someone I think is a huge example of it is Jamie Collins, because he was a Pro Bowl
Oh, yep,
linebacker, and then he went to the
absolutely.
Browns. And yes, they were bad at the time, but now he's coming back with way less money because he asked for a big contract. He got shipped out immediately.
Oh yeah, yep. You know, but then what's the Patriots gonna do? They're gonna win all the way up to the Super Bowl, and then once they're in the Super Bowl, all bets are off. Then it's a coin flip. I say that the Patriots will lose this year in the Super Bowl, so whoever makes it out the NFC North will, or you see where my head's at.
Yep.
Whoever makes it out the NFC conference should win the Super Bowl. Um, Hopefully it's our Detroit Lions.
I'm hoping so. What's another thing, real quick. Something that I'm guessing you guys might have talked about last show. I've been beyond busy. Sax Harrison's extension. I haven't talked about that yet. So I just want to say they restructured his contract and added a year on that. So I am super stoked for that because he's a player that we need on this defense for it to thrive at all. So what's your take on that?
I absolutely love it. I did come out with a video, so if you guys haven't checked that out as well, definitely go check that out. Um, you know, that's huge because now he's happy. Now we're happy. Now it's on to football. And last time I checked, that's the best D tackle in the game. So good luck, running backs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right. One player I wanted to highlight real quick is D Virgin. I think he's playing very good in the secondary right now. It's a bold prediction, but I haven't seen Tease do anything super special in my eyes, and Mike Ford has just been playing like trash. So I think D Virgin might take that last spot on the roster, actually.
Okay, that is a bold prediction. I haven't seen a whole lot from from the highlights I have been able to watch. It seems like when there's a Lions game, there's something that comes up with me, and I'm like, oh man. But you know, I haven't seen a whole lot. But you got to remember one thing with Tease Tabor, he is battling injuries. So hopefully for him, like his best case, like that he should be thinking of right now is, well, for one, get healthy and get back on that field so he can prove more stuff.
Yeah.
But also, hopefully that what he has done already in, training camp, OTAs, and, the first week of preseason, that, that could carry over to where, that he can, remain on the team. If not, yes, there will be a new person taking that spot.
Yeah.
I personally don't want to see that. I want to give Tease that last year, because I always try to give corners 3 years, safeties 3 years. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, you know what? This guy's going on timeout.
What's it called? What was I gonna say?
All right, but I want to give him a that third year, to kind of prove himself. One thing, because I did play corner. I did play in the secondary as well as I did play wide receiver. Um, I don't want to see. Oh wait, hold on. Cancel that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You did that for me. I appreciate that.
Yep. What was I gonna say? Someone on offense. I think Travis Fulgham's playing pretty good. He had a drop that he should have caught. What was it? No. He didn't have a drop. He actually fumbled when we were driving on the last drive of the game to actually be able to win it. But I still think he's gonna make the roster. He's playing well. He's still learning the offense, so it's gonna take time. but I'm excited to see if he'll get playing time during the regular season. Well, a lot of it, which I don't think he'll get a lot, but if he gets some, I think he deserves a chance.
Yeah, I mean, with Fulgrim, especially if we, you know, say we have to throw a Hail Mary or something like that, where we got numerous wide receivers and things like that on the field all at the same time. I definitely would probably be able to see him on the field in that kind of situation. And then obviously when guys need a breather, you know, it's shocking when people can when players can play every single snap of every single game, but you don't want to really see that as a real as a coach or as a what do you call it, because you want to keep them as healthy as possible later in the season. So if you want to throw in a Fulgrim or Duhart or a what would have been Javon Kirst and things like that.
Jermaine Curse, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jermaine Curse. You know that would help. Say Kenny Galladay, Danny Amendola, and Marvin Jones Jr. Those little bit of reps here and there. To where, hey, I need a breather. Let me just grab a swig of some Gatorade or something like that. That's gonna help them later on in the season.
Yeah. Actually, I want to bring up a side topic because Abdul brought it up in the comments. I think he's talking about Mark Thompson, the running back.
Oh man.
He has impressed me in preseason. He's an amazing running
you
back.
already know
I
that.
just think it's just the numbers game. He's not going to be able to make it, but I think he'll get picked up easily by another team.
See, but that's the thing though. Like, I think he's really trying to what do you call it, pressure Zach Zenner for his job. Like one huge mistake from Zach Zenner to where the Lions will say, "Well, okay, hey, that's not tolerated. Goodbye." The first person they're going to hit up is Mark Thompson.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't see that happening, but he's making a very strong case for it.
No, he definitely is. But
It
sucks. It sucks because it's the numbers game, but he is playing really good.
Yeah, I wish he wouldn't be performing like this so we could sneak him on the practice squad for 1 year.
Yeah.
Because he's young still. He's 20. I think he's 24 years old. I think I read. And Zach Zenner's
he's
28.
really young.
So you essentially will get the same type of player, but 4 years younger.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
That's the only reason why I would ever say, okay, I could see Zach Zenner go, is because we would have the same type of performance, but 4 years younger. So we have that player a lot longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, actually, and I just looked it up. He is 24, so I agree with that. I think he still needs some more time to develop, but
yeah, yeah.
It'll be something to look out for. Already another topic to talk about, which this is actually a spontaneous one, is backup quarterback right now. So we got Tom Savage, who's been out because of concussions. David Fales, who I think played really good week 2 and was average week 3. Definitely not someone I don't think any of us can trust. And then Josh Johnson played at the end of the game, and I think he played pretty well again, and I think he played really well in week 2. And then we just actually signed
week 2 and
what is his name? We just signed Louise. Yeah, we just signed Perez. Sorry, yeah, Luis Perez. We signed him. He was if anyone remembers the AAF, he was the Birmingham Irons quarterback. So we just signed him. So maybe he can get some action week 4. I think the backup quarterback job is already decided at this point, in my opinion. I think it's either going to be, I think it's Tom Savage, but if he's that messed up, then I think it'll be Josh Johnson.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like, for me, I do definitely still have to see that 4th game, because technically right now it's 1-1. One game you did good, one game you did bad for both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I will throw out the first game, but as like your starter for that week, it's 1-1.
Yeah.
So I do got to definitely see that what do you call it? But if Tom Savage can come back from that concussion, I did hear that this is actually he had how many concussions? Like four four concussions within like a 3 year span or something like that, or 17 months or something like that. I forgot. Somebody in the chat told me that what was that, two weeks ago on what do you call it? If chat, if you guys know it, on how many times Tom Savage had a concussion within like a 17-month span or something like that, please let me know. Um, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if he could come back from that, then it's definitely gonna be Tom Savage's job.
Yeah, definitely.
Now is he gonna ever get playing time? That's remains to be seen. But as far as if they do keep say three, it's gonna be between Tom or David Fales and uh, Josh Johnson.
Yeah. And I definitely don't think we're going to keep 3, but
Oh, I don't either.
I
I
think one of them
really
could
don't
drop to the
either.
practice squad, though.
That's a very good possibility, but I don't think either or are practice squad eligible.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. But, what? Oh, totally forgot what I was about to bring up. But, yeah, no, I don't think they're practice squad eligible either.
And that's another thing that I will say that Bob Quinn needs to do, and that is, get somebody, that we can start molding. I don't want to see him take, Matthew Stafford's job or anything. I just want him to, okay, hey, we got somebody that's young. We're molding him. We're sticking to the plan. You know, because I mean, you guys stop and think about it. We did draft Brad Kaya. We did draft Jake Rudock, but then we just gave up on him quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
I would want to see us, spend a draft pick, mold the player, you know, and if Stafford does, need a day off or something like that or a game off,
Hello?
hey, we
Oh,
got yeah.
cut
Are
out
you
there.
are you
Sorry
there?
about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then if you need, if Stafford does need a day off or a game off or something like that, then we have somebody that can, take a spot for that one game, and we're not freaking out like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Stafford's down, our season is done. Or Stafford needed a day off, we're done. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
we got somebody in place then.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, third concussion in 4 years. Thank you, Abdul.
There we go.
Oh, Savage returned to practice today as well.
Yeah,
That was
I
said on Bleacher Report.
have
Oh, I
not
didn't see
that out
that.
yet.
I I appreciate that as well, Abdul. Um, yeah, man. Like I definitely think that we need to definitely figure out some, a long term plan at backup quarterback. You know,
We do, and I think someone that we missed on is Jared Stidham. I really wanted us to draft him, and he is absolutely balling for the Patriots right now.
Yep, I remember the long Twitter feeds back and forth about him. You're like, dude, this kid's gonna ball. I'm telling you. Lo and
Yeah.
behold, he's balling.
Yep. I knew he was going to, but no, they didn't want to draft him. He did. Yeah, I knew he was going to do good. He'll be a starting
Yeah.
quarterback in the NFL eventually, or he'll be as good as a backup as Fitzpatrick.
Oh wow.
That's my
So you
bold
think he
pick.
got a little Fitz magic in him?
Yes, I think he does. Okay, another around the NFL talk. Who do you think is going to start for the Dolphins? Fitz or Rosen?
I think you're gonna have to go with the veteran first. Let him prove himself that he's not worthy, and then go with Rosen. So I'm gonna say, at first it's gonna be Fitzpatrick, but Fitzmagic only works for X amount of weeks. So eventually he will get demoted to second unit. Now it's up to Josh Rosen to step up and what do you call it? And
Yeah.
okay, Scott Urban, you definitely need to chillax and clean up your language. Um, okay, now back to what I was saying. I definitely think that Josh Rosen needs to seize the opportunity. Um, because he does have starting um experience. So I definitely would like to see him start, but the smart way to go about it is start Fitzpatrick and then and then see where it goes from there.
Sorry about that. What'd you say? Sorry about that.
Oh, I just said that I definitely would want to start Fitzpatrick and have the okay, hold on. Sorry guys, I'm going to get rid of this guy once and for good. Okay, go to no report. He is getting reported. Um all right. So, okay, I forgot what my train of thought. I'm sorry.
No, you're talking about Rosen. I'll pick up on that. I think Rosen needs time to develop. I think that he will be an average quarterback eventually, but right now he's so below average and he needs help and he needs time to develop. But um, I just think that Fitzpatrick has a chance to do something he has had a couple of chances to in his career, and that is to start and give a chance to the team to win. I don't think he's an amazing quarterback or anything like that, but if he starts off any way he did against Tampa Bay, with Tampa Bay, then that'll be something interesting.
Yeah.
Um, okay, Joseph Marshall. They didn't let him play the whole season because he threw lots and lots and lots of picks, and he won a lot of games because of how many touchdowns he threw. But he was too much of a gunslinger because he threw the ball up too many times when sometimes he should have just taken a sack or done a lot of other things. So that's why he did not start.
Yeah. And also, over there in Tampa Bay, they don't use their running backs. Like, they have running backs, but they don't use them. You know, like they drafted
Tampa Bay,
yeah, they drafted
Ronald Jones.
oh, yeah, Ronald Jones last year.
The reason they
And
didn't run with him is because he is terrible.
but
At least
why would you draft a guy then?
yeah,
You pick him up in undrafted free agency or something like that. Like
yeah,
but I mean, you still
exactly.
like they didn't even think about using him. It's like, okay, if he's that bad, then why did you waste the draft pick? And then if you did use the draft pick, then why didn't you use him? You know, I don't know. It's just so mind-boggling with some of these teams.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, what other topic you got?
Um. Oh, what was the one that? Um. Hold on. Let me look at my notes real quick.
On a side topic, anyone want to wish Travis Troxel happy birthday in the comments? That'd be nice. Because it is his birthday today, so he's taking time out of his birthday day to do this.
I appreciate that, fellas.
Yep.
Um.
While you're looking at that, Abdul, the Bears are going to come back down to earth because they had the healthiest defense in the NFL last year, so they're going to have guys that get hurt. They also lost Amos, and they lost Vic Fangio, and he was the genius behind their defense. And I don't care who you put in place, he is the best defensive coordinator in the NFL, in my opinion. So I think that their defense will still be above average because of Khalil Mack, but I don't think it's going to be higher than 10. And yeah, Joseph, I don't think the Bears are going to win the NFC North either. I think it'll be the Vikings or the Lions. I very much am worried about the Vikings. Me and Travis had this talk before. They have a good duo in Thielen and Diggs, and their defense is still very formidable. And yes, Cousins is the opposite of clutch, but he just needs to be a game manager with how good that defense is. Travis, you find it yet?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out who we swapped out um for the earlier cut. I know we cut Dantes Alexander,
Oh,
and then we signed
Justin
the same
Stockton.
guy that, yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know what's the deal with that one. Like, it seems like they're playing musical chairs with that.
With both of them, actually, because they signed Justin Stockton and then they cut him and then they re-signed him. And then Deontay Alexander, I think, has been cut 2 times.
Yep, and they kept picking them up and kept dropping them, and it's like, oh man, they're playing musical chairs.
Yeah. But that's what kind of happens in preseason. That means they like both of the guys. They just have to cut them every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that, Ramon. He said, "Happy birthday, fellow Virgo." You know that Virgo is in the house. Yeah, appreciate that, Evan, and and I'm sorry about your last name. And Andon Anderson.
Andonian? Andonian. I'm going to go with that.
Okay, we'll go with that one. I appreciate that. And I'm terribly sorry about mispronouncing your last name. Uh, and uh, thanks again as well, Abdul. I appreciate it. Oh, what's up, 2K Plays? Long time. Oh, wow. Well, happy birthday to you as well, Johnny Miller. Oh, and he said, can you guys give me brother Nick Gurr a happy birthday shout out too? Well, happy birthday, Nick Gurr. Happy birthday shout out. I didn't know he had the same birthday as Troxel. Uh, oh, okay. You know what? You going in timeout on that one. Okay. So, now I will say this to the chat and anybody that comes in, keep it respectful, keep it clean. Um, no need for no nonsense. Um, we try to run a clean show and a professional show. So if you guys want to act all sorts of crazy, this ain't the chat for you guys. To all you guys that do, I appreciate all you guys. So I do have to say that. Now back to the show. um, so did you had any more other topics?
Let me think about this. Nothing other than one highlight part of the game. I don't. You probably saw this highlight. Matt Prater he is in mid-season form, and he still has a
Oh,
cannon for a leg with a 61-yard field goal.
absolute. Yep.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, and shout out to Golden Tate for this, because I think he was the one who originally started this. But every time Matt Prater kicks and makes a field goal, he always he used to tweet out, "That's my kicker. I love you." And Matt
That's
Prater, if
awesome.
you ever see this, I love you, brother. You're my kicker.
Yeah.
Okay, the Gridiron Blitz says Lions are supposedly gonna sign Luis Perez. Yeah, I think Jonathan did say that. I don't know. Is it official? No, it's not official yet.
No.
But it says that he is signing.
Yeah. No, he's signing. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Gridiron Blitz.
Yep.
All right, but yeah, no. That it is a practice squad signing. I don't think he'll play. I'd be very surprised if he played.
Yeah. Well, he might play in this week's game. Obviously, because you're not going to see no Matthew Stafford or any of your key guys. So he might play in the fourth preseason game, but he might go on to the practice squad. Like, I think that's what he'd be playing for is practice squad, or or really that's about it. I don't see him making the team unless he like throws like 1,000 yards in one game and breaks NFL history. But
Hey, that'd be pretty impressive.
that would be pretty impressive. I mean, that would actually move him up in the QB2 rankings in Detroit.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
I definitely got a topic though. Okay. Mr. T.J. Hawkinson. I know you probably seen his since you watched the game. I know you seen some of his highlights.
Mm-hmm.
That dude almost looks in rare season form. Like that is awesome. Like I seen that catch, and he was playing smart. Like he was getting to the outside to hey, if I'm gonna fall out of bounds. Stop the clock. Let's move the chains and let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing a lot of like older veteran type mentality in a rookie. That is so awesome to see. And what's going on, Jay White? I appreciate you stopping in, brother.
Nice. Hey, what's up, Jay White?
But what's your thoughts on how T.J. Hawkinson's been playing this preseason?
I think he is overthinking it, in my opinion. I think he is so smart that he might be too smart for his own good right now. He's playing well, but when he messes up, he gets super frustrated because, he has a lot of pressure, but he's bringing a lot of unneeded pressure on him due to some other things just because he's that kind of guy, which is great. But
Yeah.
I think if he takes a step back and realizes that he's still a rookie, that he's going to thrive. And I still think he's going to have an amazing season. But I think what will help him take the next step is just relaxing and being able to know that he can't do everything all at once yet and will need to take time to learn everything.
Gridiron Blitz, I hope you can get your setup working, man, because we definitely need you, man. We miss you. But yeah, I mean, I think you hit it right on the head. It's like the kid is too smart for his own good. Especially being a rookie. Like you got to have them rookie mistakes, and that's where you're gonna grow. Now, I didn't really see a whole lot of pass blocking out of either T.J. Jones or T.J. Hawkinson or Jesse James. I do want to see that, but I know we're not going to see that until week 1. Maybe that is a preseason type of thing that they didn't want to showcase.
Yes, I agree with
what's
that.
going on with that, but that is something I do want to see. So maybe like I said, maybe it's something that they don't want to show in the preseason, so people don't, really, can game plan for it.
Yep. But yeah. Alrighty. All I want to say is that even though it's the fourth preseason game, I'm excited, but I'm really excited for week 1. Can't wait for that. I think we're gonna beat the Cardinals. Why not? I'll give my prediction. I think we're gonna beat the Cardinals 27-17. Yeah, I'm going with that. I'm gonna stick with that.
With what was the score? I'm sorry.
27-17.
Oh, yeah. I hope so because I went to that last preseason game against the Browns last year, and yeah, that game. Let's just put it this way: that game, I didn't want to go to that game. When I gotta yell to the guys to turn your head, the ball's coming your way, and it's to you, you get really frustrated, and that's exactly what I got. I got really frustrated.
Yeah.
We got blown out that game. It
Mhm.
was bad.
Yeah, it was.
Um, so I definitely want to see some retribution. I do definitely want to see, I've said it since day one of training camp. I want every day to be better than yesterday. If you do that, you will have a better season than last year.
Yep. Completely agree.
Continue to grow day by day and forget what happened yesterday. As far as okay, say if you had a drop or a fumble, forget that. Move on to that next play. Always have that next play mentality. If you have that in the NFL, you're gonna succeed. I mean, unless you're like, I'm sorry, David Fails, but I got to pick on your last name. Unless you're David Fails. um, but I mean, it's like you definitely gotta have that next play mentality. And continue to build consistency. If you could do those two things, you set yourself up for half the battle. Now it's just going out there and executing.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know, so that's what I'm really looking forward to, especially in this last preseason game as well. But man, I'm so ready for Arizona. Actually, technically, I'm so ready for Arizona and the Chargers. Oh, that's another good topic to bring up. How about those Chargers and them Cardinals? It's looking like a whole lot like our biggest, our first competition is actually going to be week 3 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Because if you stop and think about it, uh, you know, Arizona doesn't have their top 2 corners. They just put their rookie wide receiver on IR, done for the year.
Um, what's his name? Butler. There we go.
Yep,
Hakeem.
Hakeem Butler. Yep, they just put him on IR. You know, so that I mean, if you could stop David Johnson and you put pressure on, Kyler Murray, you got OW.
Yeah.
You know, because then you just eliminated Larry Fitzgerald. Because if he can't get the ball out to him, to balance it out a little bit, they're one dimensional. That's an easy win.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, and then you go on to week 2, our first home game against the Los Angeles Chargers, who right now we don't know if Melvin Gordon's going to be there or not.
He won't
You
be.
know, I don't think so either. I think he's going to hold true to his guns on holding out and forcing them to actually pay him. He
Yeah.
deserves it. I mean, but now on the Charger side of things, I would pay him, but I would give him an incentive base. Where okay, hey, we'll give you what you want, but if you stay healthy, if you do different things, here's your money. We have no problem with it because
Yeah.
he does deserve it. That dude's a freak of nature. His only biggest problem is he can't stay healthy.
Exactly.
Uh, and Abdul Terrell says, what about Zeke? He think he stays out. Absolutely. If they're not going to pay him, he's going to week off. I think Le'Veon Bell really set the market where you're either going to pay us or we're not gonna play.
Not so much the
Especially
market,
in the
but the tone.
yeah,
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Not the market but the tone. Uh, and that's you know running backs get the most brutal beatings outside of quarterbacks. But the NFL rules in today's game now, it takes a lot of pressure off a quarterback. You know, where now the running backs are getting teed off on,
Yep.
So that's why a running back's life expectancy in the NFL is to age 30. You know, after age 30, you hit that wall. Your body will start breaking down, different things like that. If you're not willing to be a backup or, a veteran presence and be in a committee, then you're probably not going to be able to, be on a roster. And then, therefore, that's why, you don't see a whole lot of running backs outside of 30 years old. And exactly, Joseph Marshall, unless you're Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
And with Lamar Miller, you know, he just suffered an ACL and I think an ACL and an MCL. What do you call it? So he's probably done. He's over 30 years old. He's probably done. Um, and you're starting for the Redskins, yeah. But in the Redskins' defense, though, they do have a solid offensive line. Like as long as you got a competent running back, you can make sure. You've seen that offensive line hold up to where the running backs can run, and you got some time for your quarterback, to be able to throw. Their only problem is they don't have youth on their side, and your top top free agent destroyed his leg last year.
Draft pick. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Guys.
No, well, yeah, Geist too. But I was talking about Alex Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Smith. Yeah, he tore up his leg. So I mean, like, if they can figure that out, they're going to be a threat. In the NFC.
Yeah.
I hate saying it because, definitely I haven't forgot about 1991. Just like I haven't forgot about, the Saints and the Seahawks and the Cowgirls and all them other teams that beat us in the playoffs. Like, you beat us, we got to redeem ourselves on it. It's the revenge tour. Detroit style. So going back to running backs though, like they have to get paid, because they deserve it. Like they're taking the majority of the beatings now because the NFL wants to play soft with the quarterbacks. Like if you go into the 70s, 80s, and 90s quarterbacks, those quarterbacks were real men. Like,
yeah, they were.
They
definitely.
were playing with almost like broken necks, broken backs, broken fingers, broken everything, full body cast and all. Like, and still chucking it. Like, good lord. But
yeah,
Alex Smith tore his ACL on the 25th anniversary to the day when. Oh yeah, that was crazy. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh man. And Lawrence Taylor was such a beast, though. Cowgirls love that. Oh yeah, I don't ever call that Dallas team anything less than the Cowgirls. But what's your thoughts on like that whole running back situation?
And the Redskins? Or are you talking about the Cowboys
Well,
now?
just
Talking about Elliott.
Well, just all in general, like, do you think that, do you think Melvin Gordon's going to hold out, Zeke Elliott?
I think that I think both of them are going to hold out. I think that Melvin Gordon might cave like week 8 because he wants that money because he's still on his rookie contract. But I think that Zeke has plenty of money and he'll be fine. I think that both of them will hold out, like I was saying, but I also think that Zeke will get his due pay probably no later than week 6 because the Cowboys are going to realize that, hey, we need a running back. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, they need to do something because I always try to tell everybody this, like, and I hate to even bring this team up because they are the Cowgirls. And that is, you know, everybody want to make Dak Prescott to be this all good guy and this that the other and oh I'm the best and this that the other. No, because what was the narrative of last year? When Zeke was out, with suspension. If I can make Dak throw the ball, we already won.
Yeah.
And he wants to go and have the audacity to say, you know, I want $40 million. You know,
Yeah.
so like that right there. What are you doing, Dak? Like that. It's so mind-boggling that it's crazy. Like I can't comprehend that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even at 20 million, I mean, he's more or less like a $18 million max type of player. Like I could find 1.5 million different type of $18 million players. You know,
That's
a
true.
$40 million or even a $30 million should be going to like elite, elite quarterbacks like a Andrew Luck, like a Tom Brady, like a Matthew Stafford, like a Drew Brees. You know, I don't want to give the other 12 in Wisconsin no credit, but him too as well. You know, uh, you put an offensive line. I mean, obviously everybody can perform way better, uh, but I'm loving that they don't have an offensive line because we get to finally give him back his all of his talking that he used to do against us.
Mm-hmm.
But you about ready though?
Yeah. I can't think of anything other than I'm excited for week 4, even though none of the starters are playing. But I'm excited for week 4. So
Oh, absolutely.
it's Lions football. So
Okay, do you got any closing words?
my closing words are happy birthday to you and go Lions. And thank you for
I
joining
appreciate
us.
I appreciate that, brother. Um, and I do want to say I appreciate everyone in the chat. We had about 13 to 14 people in the chat um, watching, and we have 10 likes and 3 dislikes. I probably already know the 3 dislikes, and God bless you guys. Um, you know, you still gave us some interaction, so you helped us out still. Appreciate that. And to all you guys in the
So
chat
much.
and to all the subscribers, I appreciate you guys. Um, you know, and definitely subscribe to Lion Personnel Show. He just wrote something in the chat. Also the Gridiron Blitz, and I'm sorry I did not put um, our newest member, Staple Sports, but I will definitely be putting him into the description as well. If you go onto my page or any one of our pages, we have him featured in our channel, so you can go ahead and click on his link and subscribe to him as well. And definitely check out the video I dropped today, and definitely what do you call it? I got a video dropping on Wednesday. For us Lions fans, it's gonna turn your heads because you're gonna be like, "Wow, I did not know all that." Uh, so be definitely tuned in for that as well. And I am so happy that this week I did definitely get the chat box working. So we're gonna definitely figure out what's going on the Gridiron Blitz because we definitely need a full roster on board. And go Lions, one pride. Have a nice day.
Peace.